Hello everyone, welcome back to another day in the workshop. So now we have already made a pretty much okay part of a crossbeam, and we have now started to work towards chassis rails. Now the profile used for the chassis rail underneath the car is this one, because you can open it up nicely so you can weld onto the floor of the car. Now we are doing the chassis rails that go up to the firewall here. We need to connect those one with the inner ones of this, so it will be a nice flowing structure. Now, as you can see here, we have the beginnings of the chassis rails. So this flap here is done, so we can hold it in place, and we're starting to get a shape. So we just continue with the work, and hopefully we'll get the chassis rails done so we can move on to the floor of the car and the seals and the A-pillars and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll show you how it's done and we'll get to work. Okay, so the last time what I was doing is actually getting off the underseal of the car, which is a pain in the butt because it sticks on pretty nicely. It's a thick layer, but some places it's old enough so it cracks and it gets off easy, but some places not. So it was a pretty horrible job, but I have managed to make the larger part of the inner wheel well on the back. So we need to continue on with, I still have some stuff left up there. But as mentioned before, it's mandatory that you use eye protection because it's really nasty if you get it in your eye. One more thing, for the chassis rails that go around the firewall, we are using these steel profiles. This baby is 40 and 100 millimeters tall with 2 millimeter thickness of the walls. And we have the inner ones, which is 60 by 30 by 2 millimeters. Perhaps we will even do some additional reinforcements, but this is the plain material that we will be using. This has been welded together so we can cut both of them the same. It has been cut on the angles and then joined together with welding, a little bit formed so it will have a nice curvature, so it's not, pointed like this. These ones go into the outer ones. We need to open these ones up so we can make the flaps, so we can weld it onto the body of the car. But this is starting to get the shape, so we need to carry on with the work, and hopefully we'll get the chassis rails down pretty soon. The steel used here is called S235. This is a normal construction style of steel. This is used for construction, so it should be good enough for the car because I think it has the yield density of around 500, so it should be pretty okay. We'll even do some additional reinforcements, so it'll probably be even stronger than it was from the factory. But you still have to watch out so you don't do some stuff too strong so it won't absorb any energy, because this is actually bad if you get in a crash, because in the crash you want the car to absorb energy and to deform in a safe manner, so not all forces are transferred through your body. this line here, the first one is the shape line, and the second one is for the edge to be bent out, so we will have a flap on which we can weld the floor and the firewall onto. So this is where we have to cut it, and then this is where the edge needs to be bent over, so we will have a nice edge to go to the car. We're getting there slowly, but the shoulders are killing me because you have to work above your head, and with the hammer and stuff like that and the chisel, it's not a nice job, but it has to be done. You could sand this, you know, get the whole car sanded, but then you have to put it in basic color, and then you have to sand it down everywhere you want to weld, and you get sand everywhere, so this is another problem and stuff like that. So, you know, a little bit of elbow grease and we'll have this done in no time. There is more car on the floor than there is on the lift. So the problem with mounting U-shaped profiles is that when you put it in and start pressing it, it's going to go together on the top, so you have to put something in, and also when you're hitting it to bend the flap, you're going to bulge the middle part inside, so it's not ideal. So we took a pair of pliers and bent the edge out a little bit just to kind of make a initial flap, then we can use a hammer to hammer it out, so we get a nice 90-degree angle with the main of the profile. We have mounted it together with a screw, so we have a hole that needs to be connected, so it's going to be the same one on the left and on the right, because this is where the axle goes in. So the way this part has been done is we started with a rectangular profile. It was cut on the angles that are same here and there. Then it was welded here and cut longitudinally and hit and bent inside, so we get a nice curvature, so we don't have sharp edges. Now we are starting to opening up the profile. If you are interested in how to do this kinds of stuff, I have a video on the basic techniques on how to make custom parts such as this. This part as well has been made on using only techniques that you saw in the previous video. So we have this thing here, a hammer, a set of pliers, welding machine, angle grinder and stuff like that. So if you haven't already, please check it out, so you will learn how to make custom reinforcements and custom chassis rails. So guys, this is the end of another episode. We've been good, we've been productive, we've done the first samples for the chassis rails. I think they look pretty good. They still need some finishing up to do, but they're pretty okay. We got the rear cross beams ready. We're starting to get bottom chassis rails, so you know we can see the progress, so this is good. In the rear arches, I've managed to get quite a lot of old protection off, which is so tiring but kind of nice, because like if you like washing cars or stuff like that, it's pretty satisfying to do, so I kind of like it. But anyways, this is the end for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you learned something, and we will see each other in the next episode. Bye.